Hi all, yet another interesting game of Leela Chess against Laser. So this is in a series of games by Gallagher, a gauntlet of games. We see Leela ID 487 on a 1080 graphics card against Laser 1.5 on a 4-core i7-39. So d4 from Leela Chess, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, d5, knight f3. We enter the semi-Slav defense. Very popular at Super GM level nowadays. Very popular indeed. One of the most popular openings. Bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, d takes c4, e4. So a temporary gambit. Well, it's a big compensation here. g5, bishop g3. Black clings onto the pawn, and that's the lost book move in this position. Now Leela plays bishop e2. So not really concerned about either knight being nudged with b4 or g4 here. And in fact, black doesn't want to do either at the moment. Bishop b4. Pawns don't go backwards. We see queen c2, but here, now black is tempted for g4. Knight e5 to be able to take on d4 now. White Leela castles here, and there's quite a few interesting options in this position. It's quite a dynamic, aggressive position for white, but one of the minimal options of, to get at least one pawn back with knight takes g4 is on the cards. Black played bishop e7, so you might be wondering, well, what about just protecting the g pawn a bit more? This continuation is interesting. Found the move with my own engine here after a little bit of research. Can you see what white can play in this position, which is exploiting the king in the center? Actually, if you're in a similar position with white against this semi-Slav, this is an interesting idea. Knight a4, give up a piece for a3, and then knight takes c4, and all of a sudden knight d6 check is threatened, which causes big problems for black. For example, this continuation, e5 cutting the queen from the bishop. Nice exchange sack. This is really a big advantage for white. There's all sorts of nasty things happening in the position. If you take it further, like potentially queen c7 and then queen b7. There's other stuff like that. It's a nice idea. I thought I'd mention it. A very tactical idea of knight a4. I was looking at quieter stuff here, and it wasn't that convincing. If queen d2, black might actually be not in not too bad shape. For example, like this, black's not doing that badly, but this continuation with knight a4 is really quite crushing. So anyway, so rook g8, there is some dynamic potential in white's position. And let's go with the game continuation. Bishop e7. Oh, sorry, one more thing. Bishop takes c3. If black was greedy with bishop takes c3 to take this center pawn. Queen d2 here. Let's have a look at this. If knight bd7, f3, queen f4, and this is dangerous for black because of the f6 square being so weak. For example, like this, nasty pin against the rook. White has a big advantage there. And if we just look at this line again, with queen d5 instead this time, queen f4 again. The problem is the dark squares in black's position a little bit. The dark squares, either f6 or d6, become harassed, and white proves some very definite compensation. For example, here, because of queen takes e5 if queen takes d7. But that can be prompted anyway, and with a big advantage for white. So very interesting dynamic stuff results from this gamut. So bishop e7 was played. So not rook g8, not bishop c3. We have rook ad1, queen c5, and now white gets at least one pawn back. So Leela is just one pawn down here. And the king is in the center. We have h5, bishop f3, h4. Very forcing moves from black. Another forcing move. So a lot of forcing moves. Bishop e3. h3 is played down, rook g8. King h1 getting unpinning the g pawn, which that bishop takes h3 might have been a concern. Queen a5, but now bishop h5, white is going on the attack. Leela's eyeing a soft spot, and this is tricky for black. Black plays b4. Now technically there's an interesting move in knight d5 which might be interesting to pursue. Leela played knight e2. On knight d5 you can see some of the dangers already with the f file in this line. It's pretty dangerous to the black king being in the center. There's some nasty variations. Like this, for example, with a big advantage for white. But Leela's move is also pretty dangerous. After rook h8, guess what Leela plays? Okay, bishop takes f7 check. And you might have asked, well, hold on a sec, why couldn't black have played rook g7? Even so, f4 here is going to be good. This is a nice advantage for white. Okay, so let's run with this, offering f7. So f4, so what's going on here? Is the black king really in big trouble? F takes e5, queen takes a2, a powerful knight centralization, c3, knight f5, and this has interesting implications for two connected passed pawns, which Leela puts in context, I think, a much longer search horizon to see that these are really valuable, these connected passed pawns. C takes, rook b1, king d8. So it's not just the king safety, it's the connected passed pawns aspect. Centralizing the queen now, e6, f6. Yeah, this is possible, f6. If bishop takes f6, then check, and we've got a king hunt going on here. So queen c5 in this line, because I think white's threatening rook takes b8 and queen c6. I'll put that on the board. That'll be, so let's go with queen c5 as an example. e7, this is crashing through anyway because of queen e6 check. It's crashing through anyway. Nice vacating move, e6 to e7, giving the e6 square. So this is all pretty crushing. We see a5, and Leela just plays rook f5, bishop d6. Yeah, rook f5 is an unpinning move, so it actually makes possible f takes without losing the rook. And then if queen takes, rook f7, just to put that on the board, this kind of thing. So that wasn't possible with the rook on f1 because it's pinned at the moment. So rook f5, an unpinning move. Bishop d6. If bishop takes f6 here, rook bf2 is sufficient, and this is desperate stuff from black. Black's just getting absolutely massacred, bishop down, etc. So bishop d6, rook d2. We can see the real power of the connected pawns here. The extra piece is a very token extra piece. Black's pieces are just sort of spectator pieces over here. I know I used to like saying about spectator pieces in engine games, but it is the case here that black's position is so discoordinated on the back rank. It's visually crushing, you could say, as of many Leela games. So here, guess what white plays? Okay, rook takes d6. Now if king takes d6, then it's over. So checkmate. So queen takes d6, bishop f4 winning the queen. And this material imbalance is not too hard to prove white having the edge here. The game ended here. It could carry on, for example, rook a1, f7, and you see the beautiful connected passed pawns just winning a ton of material as an example. So this is a nice dynamic game. Leela playing another set start position though in a very trendy opening. So the last book move in this game was 8b5, but I think she played it like a super GM. Really dynamic, aggressive stuff. I hope you got something from it. Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated. Thanks so much.